When we talk about playing gospel music or black gospel or music played largely in black congregations, it's crucial. In fact, I'll venture to say that there are three important components to keep in mind. While the concept is simple, they are fundamental to the genre. This is Chris Moses with GPU, and I'm going to discuss the pentatonic scale, 2-5-1 chord progressions, and feel. All right, let's take a look at the most popular chord progression in gospel music. It's the 2-5-1 chord progression. Now, when you hear musicians say chord progression, they're typically talking about advancement or a movement of a set of chords. So if I wanted to play a 2-5-1 chord progression in the key of E flat, in order for me to progress to D flat, I'd have to play, of course, 2-5-1. Now you may say, no, that's not 2-5-1. You're playing 5-1-4. But now let's take a look at the key of A flat. A flat, of course, would be A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. Now I just played that diatonically. And all that is in English simply is I played A flat natural, no sharps, no flats, nothing fancy. All right. So if I played A flat diatonically, in order to get to D flat, I'm not doing any sharps, any flats. It's played diatonically, and it's really simple. So what I would basically be doing is playing the 2 for D flat, which would be E flat, the 5 for D flat, which would be A flat, and the 1 for D flat. So if I played it diatonically in the key of A flat now, because we're trying to go or progress to D flat, we would actually play the 5 or the 2, the 5 for A flat, or which is the 2, the second interval of D flat. Okay, so we would play A flat, E flat 7th, E flat 7. Then we would play A flat, major 7th or major 9th. All right, and then we would end up here at D flat again, and I don't even have to move much. It's very simple, but it also sounds, kind of boring. Yeah, something like this. E flat 7, we could play A flat major 7 and D flat. There's nothing wrong with it. That progression isn't bad. It isn't incorrect. In fact, it's too correct because there's no changes. There's no real color to that harmony, and there's nothing really drawing the listener's ears kind of outside the key to bring them back. All right. Now I'll play a 2-5-1 chord progression in that same key to go progress to that same D flat. And now let's take a listen and to see how this actually better or slightly better suggests what chord I'm progressing to. So now let's take something like this. Okay, all I did here was added the secret sauce, which is the 4th of D flat. Remember, A flat is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's if you played that diatonically, it would sound very much like this. But we're taking it outside the key just for a second. We're moving up, everything up, a perfect 4th. What that means is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're changing the interval from, instead of it being the 5th, it's the 2 of D flat, which D flat diatonically would be played as such. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. So of course, naturally the 2 would be the E flat. So that E flat for 2 becomes a minor 9th, E flat minor 9th, okay? And another A flat chord. We can say a 9/13th. Somebody's gonna correct me, whatever. And then we go from there and go here. And this is where we end up. And it has a much stronger pull. Did you notice the marked difference in this? So playing something like this again, E flat, A flat, D flat, or 2, all right, 5, 1, okay? Now, in a moment, I'll use the same progression in a short piece to illustrate my point. But I just want to get you guys to understand the importance of the 2-5-1. That's a major 2-5-1, or what would end in the major key tonality or a major key center. All right. So now let me play another 2-5-1 chord progression. It's going to be in that same key, but it's going to be to a minor key center, which of course the relative minor to A flat would be the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be F. Every major key has its minor key tonality. Okay. Now, conversely, of course, we have A flat, we have F minor. Now, conversely, how we have a 2-5-1 diatonically for A flat major to get to A flat, or rather to get to D flat, to get to a 4, we can use a same approach to get to F. And it would pretty much sound the same, much slightly different, because minor harmony is a little different than major harmony. But now let's listen to this. We played a 7th chord, rather a 2-5-1 in F. So F minor. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Of course, the 1, the 3 is going to be the 1 for A flat, and so on. Okay. Now, if we go to G, would be the 2 for F, C would be 5, and of course F would be 1. So if we did a 2-5-1, it would sound something like this if you played everything diatonically. G7, minor 7 flat 5, C minor. All right, you have your F major, or F minor rather. And there's nothing wrong with that progression. But again, if we change something slightly, probably one note, it implies that another minor key tonality completely different. We could take the same chord progression and do 2, 5, okay, and 1. My voicing, of course, brings out different harmonies. But again, it's essentially the same chord I played here before. You have your G minor 7 with a flat 5, okay? So, but instead of playing C minor, I substituted that with a altered chord, which would be a C7 with a sharp 5th and sharp 9 interval. And then we go from there, and we go to an F minor 9th. And that's what gives you the color to something like this. Now, we're not playing outside the key. We're just actually playing a different harmony or a different mode. All right. And it will essentially be, it would be what's called a harmonic minor. And whether you're playing a harmonic minor or what's called a natural minor, they're still minor, but the tonality is different and you get different color. Now, I have other videos discussing the pentatonic scale, and I'll leave a tag up there at the top. You guys can check that out. But because its role is so integral in gospel music, it bears repeating. Now, the pentatonic scale is a 5-tone scale, penta meaning 5, and I discussed that in my other videos. Now, of course, the major pentatonic scale for A flat would be 1, A flat, B flat, C, E flat, F. All right, and conversely, the same thing works for F minor. So if F minor were our key center, it would be F, A flat, B flat, C, B flat, F. Now we know the 2-5-1 chord progression and the pentatonic scale. Now let's talk about feel. All right, so we had a track there, courtesy Andre Forbes, hotmusicfactory.com. And I'm going to take the bass part of that song and do just a quick breakdown. And the bass will better illustrate the point about the pentatonic and the 2-5-1 chord progression. We can see where these, where it's going. Also, when I say minor and major pentatonic, sonically, they're the same thing. It's 12 one way, a dozen the other. There isn't a real difference in the minor and major pentatonic as far as sound is concerned. But the F minor key this is in, that's the key center. So I'll say minor in this case, because of course major will be A flat, B flat, C, E flat, F, 5 tones, and F minor would be F, A flat, B flat, C, E flat, F again. All right, so as we see here, they're doing something like this. And a lot of times you'll have bass players and keyboard players. Keyboard player, they like to go between notes, but a bass player will kind of do a pitch bend. All right, so that's the feel that we have, and we have this feel as well. So it's between B flat and B, and you'll have that. The pentatonic scale also borrows some elements, so we have F minor here. All right, the first chord, F minor, which is the first chord in this song, and the bass line, F minor 7, the bass line actually mimics that, or rather outlines it. All right. And there's a movement there. So the pentatonic mixed with the blues, well, we have what's called your blue note, and I have another video on that as a sharp 4. So you have your 1, 2, minor 3, 4, and a sharp 4. So you can throw the sharp 4 in there in the pentatonic scale, make it a 6-tone scale or a hexatonic, hex meaning 6, and change the tonality a bit. So we have the choice to do that. So that when we have that, it implies that B. All right, so what we have here is this B flat going into this B. All right, so, or we can do that as well, for the B flat to go to a whole step, for B flat to C. All right, we use the modulation wheel to do that trill. So the 2-5-1 comes in here, 2-5-1. So now we have 2. When I say 2, of course in A flat, this is the E flat is 5, but for D flat, the 2 is E flat. So the 5 for A flat becomes the 2 for D flat, where we're progressing, where we're making our advancement or our chord progression too. So 2, 5, the 1 becomes the new 5 for the next chord, the next chord or key that we're actually going to. So that's when I showed you before that G flat better implies D flat, because that's where we're actually going to end up. So now we're changing modes again. So now this 1 for D flat becomes the 5 for F minor. So 2, I'm the 2 rather. I'm sorry, 2, 2, 5, 1. So you're like, wait a minute, Chris. What do you mean this is 2? This couldn't be 2 for F. This would be 2 for B. No, technically, you're right. You would be right. It is 2 for B or B major. It's a whole step away. However, what we're implying again is what I showed you before. That chord there, G minor 7 with a flat 5, 1, flat 3, flat 5, and a flat 7. All right, minor 7, flat 5 implies the 2. This would even imply 2. This could even imply 2. You don't have to play 2, 2, 5, 1. You can, but there are other movements. So 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. All right, or use a passing tone to go back to 1 again, and then same thing. So 2. This is still 2. Half step up, leading tone to 1 to 2, I'm sorry, to 5, and then so we have that trill again. So that's how that works. Okay. So a lot of times the bass players are outlining the chord. You don't have to play everything to the root. You can't stick to the root as much as possible, or you can get outside of it. And these passing tones, coupled with alterations of the chords or playing different notes of the chords, will help you to color your music, and you can get a nice gospel feel. Because just playing the pentatonic scale straight out is good, but learning how to utilize it and implement it in your music, as far as if you're playing the bass, horns, keys, it doesn't matter. Because once we have the pentatonic scale, we can move forward and start using other scales. So I hope this has helped you, and hope this makes sense. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if this has helped you. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.